Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Tony's Picks. It's the happy hour. We're all about to pour us some winners. We got a small slate of NBA action, but when we make up for that small slate of NBA action, we got a loaded college basketball slate with some pretty good matchups going in that tonight. And hey, we throw in a couple hockey as well. Definitely good national championship game as well last night. Congrats to Ohio State and the Buckeyes. Definitely a good one. Definitely was right down to the wire at the end. Gave the Buckeyes all they could handle in the end in that one. It came right down to it. And hey, they bended and bended but didn't break. Congrats to the Buckeyes winning the national championship there in that one. As we always do here, let's quickly get to say hello to the Cappers, see how they're doing, and then we'll get right to the picks. How are you doing today, Ron?
Doing great down here on the Gulf Coast, watching the snowfall. Believe it or not, it's unbelievable down here. Got about 5 inches and a couple more to come tonight. So yeah, it's weird, but never seen that before down here. But I'm from Kansas City, so hey, I'm used to it. People down here, not really so much, but it's fun for the kids down here. They get to see snow, make some snowballs and snowmen today. So all good. But yeah, Ohio State, yeah, we called it all the way, Rod. We had them from the beginning and cashed it out last night. It was good. Still don't know what Marcus Freeman was doing, trying to kick a field goal down 16 points. I'm still trying to figure that one out. You're still down 2 touchdowns, even
You're still down
if
two
you make
touchdowns.
it.
Yeah,
So,
I don't get that
I don't know.
maneuver whatsoever. I think I was waiting for him to go for it on fourth down. I thought for sure he was going to go for it and then kick the field goal. And I was like, kick the field goal? What? What are you doing? So it is
Unbelievable.
what it is. Yeah, I think you got to go for it. You got to be aggressive. Be aggressive.
Be aggressive.
I think you're right.
Exactly.
You got to. You only get one crack at these things sometimes, and
Of
you got
course,
to
we
go
had the
for it.
Blackhawks last night on the money line. We got that plus 1.5. Should have had the money line, but yeah. Well,
All
Freddie
right.
stepped in on us. So, yep.
How are you doing, Ramon?
Oh, I enjoyed the game last night as well. And, well, you see, they're already thinking about how they're going to tinker it with the format. We kind of made fun of it yesterday. The number 7 and the number 8 seeding teams in the final. And, hey, it was a worthy final. I thought Notre Dame made a good account of themselves. Really, the problem was the 31 consecutive points there, obviously, but they kind of saved the game a little bit and made it exciting at the end. And, man, Jeremiah Smith, this kid, can you believe this guy should be in the NFL? And he's like 18 years old. And just watch out for those ladies driving the golf cart, though. Really, I don't know if you saw she was driving the golf cart with the players and the coach, and she drove right into the wall and almost killed those guys. But watch out for that. Fun game last night, but I don't know. We're back to the grind here a little bit for a few days until we get to our NFL playoffs. So let's get at it.
Let's get to it. We're going to kick it off with some NBA action tonight. We'll break it up into let's do the 7:30 games, and then we'll do because they've got 3 at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, and then we've got 2 at 1 at 10 p.m., 1 at 10:30 on the late slate. So we'll start with the 7:30 p.m. Eastern time block, and that's Portland taking on Miami. Miami favored 10.5 there in that one. Total looking at about 219. Looking at the Knicks in the second half of back-to-back, heading to Brooklyn. Knicks favored by 12.5 in that one, 219 total in that one as well. And then you got the Magic heading into Toronto, and then Magic favored 1.5 in that one, total 212.5. I don't know. Over to Ron. What do you think there in those 3 NBA actions tonight?
Yeah, I had the Knicks yesterday. Nice casher against Atlanta. I'm gonna look to fade him tonight. Brooklyn's been really good against the spread. I know not too good at home, but yeah, like you said, it's a back-to-back for the Knicks, so maybe a lackluster performance there. It's a little too many points, I think. And I'm looking at the Orlando Magic. I know everybody's like, hey, Toronto, they're great against the spread, but you look at some of those spreads, those are like 7, 8, 9 numbers, that they were getting there as a home dog. I think the value here is on Orlando because it's such a small spread. Normally, I would look at Toronto at maybe a 7 or an 8, but because it's so low, I'm going to take Orlando on the money line.
And what do you think about these 3 slate of NBA action there, Ramon?
Yeah, I'm going to roll maybe with some totals on the show here tonight, Rod. Knicks and Nets. We know the Nets are they're kind of chock full of problems right now. And if I think the Knicks are going to come out on top of this game, the number might be a little stiff on the road, even though the Knicks were playing a little bit better here of late after a mini slump. And we know the Nets are pretty woeful. I'm going to end up on the under here in this one, Rod, and take the under 219, I think, for the most part, maybe 219.5. So give me the under there. Heat and Trailblazers. I don't know. It feels like Ron, I want to just fade Jimmy Buckets, and he's maybe making everybody miserable down there. I know they bounced back with a win last time, but I'm questioning whether or not they'll have enough defense here to even get this number against Portland. We know Portland's not great for sure, but the Heat got the number last time. I'm questioning their defense, so I'm going to end up with an over in this one at 220 or so. And with the Magic and the Raptors, God, that Knicks Nets game is a TNT game. This is the closest game on the board, Rod. We got 4 double-digit spreads in this one. This might be the best game of the night, and you got the sad sack Raptors in there. So I'm going to go under, though. Obviously, we're seeing quite a few unders from the Magic so far. The underrated defense led by Coach Mosley. They really have this is kind of what spurred them, I think, to their really strong season so far, given their growth as a young team. So I think against the Raptors here, I know a lot of people are gravitating towards the Raptors a little bit, even though they pale in comparison record-wise. I just figure they can get down to a little bit of business here defensively. I'm going to take the under in this one. The move has been strong to the under. It was 215 down to 212, 212.5. So I'll take the under with the Magic and the Raptors.
And for me, looking at these matches up here tonight, I'm looking at the Knicks game and some questions at game time decisions. Looks like some people are going to play. Josh Hart looks like he is going to play tonight. Karl Towns is going to play tonight for the Knicks. So those guys are definitely going to be in. It's the Nets that are dealing with a whole bunch of guys that are out there in that one. Simmons, Cam Thomas, Lewis, Bogdanovich. Russell is going to play there in that one for the Nets. So you know what I'm going to do? I like the Knicks to come out hot in this first half here in this one tonight. It's one of those solid spots where they're I found a 10-0 spot here on the Knicks in the first half. I see the line at 7. And then when you look at the numbers and dig into it, you look at the Knicks over their last 5 games in that first half, they're averaging 62 points in that first half. When you look at what Brooklyn's been doing in the first half over their last 5, and they've been only averaging 48 points over those in their last 5 games in the first half. So struggling to score points has been this Brooklyn team. And as I mentioned, all those guys out, it's going to struggle there too. Give me the Knicks there in the first half. It was 6 this morning. It's up to 7 in most places. I think it's a 10-point lead for the Knicks in the first half in that matchup. That's what I like there. And then looking at Portland taking on the Heat, you look at it's going to be Simmons still questionable for Portland. We got Murray questionable, Williams questionable for Portland. So they're definitely dealing with some guys, whether they're going to play or not play in that matchup. Tyler Hero questionable for the Heat in that matchup. Love, who was looking like he was questionable earlier, looking like he's likely to play in that matchup. So when I look at that number and seeing the Heat land 10.5 in places, it's just like I'm going to take the under in that matchup. Give me a lower scoring one, slower pace, the type of game that the Heat plays. Play a little bit of defense there in that one. Slow things up. I like the under 219.5 in that matchup. And you know what? With Orlando dealing with some guys out as well in that matchup. Toronto definitely more the healthier team because you look, man, Orlando dealing with, I'm going to say at least 4 guys, Isaac, Howard, Harris, Anthony, all game time decisions for the Magic in that matchup. And it's only Boucher and a couple of guys out, Quigley and Abaji. He's been out for a little bit now for the Raptors. So other than that, they got their full lineup going. A rested team. And I know this Raptors team, or Raptors team, as we say, because their defense isn't very good. They definitely can give up the points as well. So, and you look what the Magic defense has been doing over their last 5 games, and it's well over 50% field goal shooting. So, definitely not been a solid defense we've seen from the Magic. Give me the over Orlando and Toronto. All right, on to the last two games of the night. We got the 76ers heading into Denver. 12-point favorite is Denver in that one. 230.5 is the total there. We got the Wizards heading into LA, taking on the Lakers. You got the Lakers laying 13.5 in that matchup. Total 228.5 in that one. What do you think here in these two, Ron?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the Denver Nuggets in this one. I think they're laying a lot of points here because they're telling you it's probably a smash spot for the Nuggets in this one. Lakers laying that many? No, I don't care who they're playing. They can play the Washington Generals, are all I care. But I'm not taking the Wizards either. So I'm gonna go up and over that total. Give me an over.
And what do you think here in these two, Ramon?
Yeah, Ron, funny you mentioned that, Rod, and Ron, the Washington Generals, maybe they need Curly Neal out there to play for them. Here, I know he'd get traded from the Globies, but I am going to roll with the Nuggets in the game against the Sixers. Are these football spreads? Nuggets here, yeah, Philadelphia, we know there are problems with no Embiid here tonight. Again, they've had some injury woes, of course, just trying to keep their players in the lineup, it feels like. And the Nuggets are not great at covering big numbers. They're not great at covering numbers, period, really. They're just starting to, feels like, get their season going. Right now they've reached 10 games over 500, but after a slow start, I figure Denver will probably still be around, of course, at the end. Just they're a team that's going to pace themselves. So I'm still going to go with the Nuggets here and lay the big points, though, against the Sixers here with the Nuggets at home, like Ron said, maybe a smash spot, but it's going to be a little tough. I can't recommend it as a premium. I don't know if I can get any game as a premium tonight. I got one. Also in that late game with the Wizards and the Lakers here. I don't know about the Wizards being able to produce enough on the road. I'm going to end up on the under here. This game also has moved lower here today by about, 2 or 3 points. So I would guess that's the way the books are kind of moving it. Maybe the sharps are coming in that way. So give me the under with the Wizards and the Lakers here tonight. Maybe we'll just throw some confetti on the audience there after LeBron. He's got a Rod, you saw him last night. You know what's in that silver cup? A big glass of wine. So LeBron was yucking it up there with all the rich people, drinking wine, and then he's got to meet with the team probably and then fly back on his own. I'm sure he'll be fine, but come on, even the king can have a hangover. So I'm going to take the under, though, tonight with the Wizards and the Lakers, and just hopefully we can get through this NBA card tonight with these ugly spreads.
Yeah, definitely not the greatest NBA card here tonight. And just looking at the injury report on the Lakers, hey, it was Anthony Davis who was questionable, not LeBron James, having a little bit of wine, a little bit of vino. Nothing wrong with a little bit of vino with celebration. Maybe he found the fountain of youth in that cup of vino that he's got there, because I've seen LeBron James at times this season come flying out of games like he has found that cup of vino. So it is what it is there. But is it a smash spot? They burned me the last time I played the Lakers when I thought it was going to be a smash spot. I think they were favored by this big same double digits. So I dug into things, and you know what? I'm going to take the give me the Wizards here in the first half, because when you look at the numbers on the Wizards in the first half, you look what they've been doing. Okay, they've averaged 50 points a game over their last 5 in that first half. Well, what have the Lakers been doing over the last 5 in the first half? Well, they've been scoring 53 points a game in their first half. And even at a home game at their best, when they're hot and playing a good average, they're still only scoring 59.5 points a game. And the spread's at 8 in the first half. I'm going to get 8 with the Wizards in a game that's going to be a lot close. Going to come right down to who's got that ball last in the first half. And the way the Lakers have been shooting, not very good. 47.8%. On the year, 47.4% if you combine the total they're shooting the whole season long. So this is not going to be an 8-point lead for the Lakers in the first half. I like the Wizards in the first half. Take the 8 in that matchup there. And then looking at Philadelphia and the Nuggets, you look what the Nuggets have done as a favorite. As smash spotted in 6 straight as the favorite. I'll lay the 12 with Denver. That's 76ers team, man. It's like it reminds me of like maybe it's the Harlem Globetrotters going to trot out, because you never know who's going to trot out They bring out the little clown car, and then on today's lineup for the 76ers, these guys come out of the car tonight because you never know what you're gonna get. It's just like the box of chocolates, and same thing. You never know what you're gonna get from night to night. I haven't seen any consistency all season long. 14 and 27 against the spread. Nah, they're on a do not bet list over here. No 76ers.
Hey, and, Rod, I did see just as we were coming on the air, AD will be probable tonight.
Yeah, AD. Oh, yeah, I meant to. I did. I get distracted with King and the Vino, right? Yeah, AD is going to play in that one tonight. So hey, it's all looking like the smash spot, but not in the first half, as you said. Maybe it takes a little bit for the King Vino drinker to get himself going a little bit first. Wizards come on a little bit hot. Either way, I like him in the first half there. In that one, all right, let's go head on over to the college hoop slate. Massive slate over there. Let's just see. We're gonna break it up into time blocks. We'll start here at 6:30 p.m. Eastern with the Ohio taking on Eastern Michigan. And we'll go all the way to, let's say, all the way to 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So all the 8:30 p.m. Eastern games and earlier. We'll start on that. If you see anything there in that section of the games, what do you got there for people tonight here, Ron, in that first section of the games we got going?
Yeah, I'll go backwards. It's easier. So 8:30, we got the UT Martin. I'm going to take the 2 with them. I like Marquette, blowout Seton Hall. I'll take that one. UCF and Iowa State, that's an interesting matchup. Everybody's really high on Iowa State. But I tell you what, UCF can come to play. So I think 16 points might be a little too much. I know it's hard to play in Hilton Coliseum against the Cyclones, but I'm going to lean toward UCF in that one. I like Ohio State about that bounce back loss this weekend. I know Purdue, everybody's humping up on Purdue. They're the best team since sliced bread, and I like for Ohio State to at least hang around in that one. Going forward, Mississippi State and Tennessee. If you look at Tennessee, they're going to be playing Auburn on Saturday. Auburn did get basically the bye this week. They're not playing tonight or tomorrow, and they're going to wait for Tennessee. Game day is going to be at Auburn on Saturday. Is Tennessee looking ahead? I know they're coming off that Vandy heartbreaker, but I still think maybe Tennessee takes care of business against Mississippi State tonight. So take the Vols, even though they may be looking ahead to that one. Vanderbilt's no slouch. They took care of Tennessee. We know Alabama won outright as a dog out there in Kentucky on Saturday. One of my big plays. But I'm gonna lay it with Alabama here. They're back home in Tuscaloosa, and that should be it. I think. Texas Tech and Cincinnati. I like Cincinnati as a home dog. I think that defense comes to play. So give me Cincinnati as a home dog against Texas Tech.
And what do you think there in that slate of games, Ramon? I know it's a big one. There's some good games in there. What do you think there?
Yeah, maybe
good match.
Yeah, skip around, let Ron handle some of those big matchups here. So, hey, I'm going to hang out, I think, in the MAC a little bit here. I'm going to start with the top of the card. I'm going to go over with the game between Ohio State and Eastern Michigan. I think we've definitely seen some overs here so far this season from these two teams. So I'll roll with it. I know it's a pretty big number here. We're looking at 154 now. So I was thinking about using that one as a premium, but just went up a little bit too high. Say a little bit too high at 154, but I'm going to go over with Ohio and Eastern Michigan. Also down here with Ball and Central here in this one. I'm going to take Central Michigan at home against Ball State. In this one, they've had a few covers this year, and I'm not sure about ball here on the road in this. So give me Central Michigan in the matchup here against Ball State. Over in the A10, I'm going to go with St. Joe's here on the road. They seem to take a little action here now and have moved to a favorite. Davidson did open the favorite. So I'm going to take St. Joe's on the road, Fly Hawks here in this one. Skip down here a little bit to Kent and Toledo, a little more MAC action. I'm going to take the Rockets, laying this small number at home here. They're favored by 1 point, and I like that here against Kent. I think Toledo has a little bit more defense. I see the total here at 148.5. It's been going up. I might get involved in the total, but I haven't done so yet. Give me Toledo here in that one. And one more in the MAC here. I'm going to take Akron on the road, laying the big number against Buffalo. Another one where I considered laying it as a premium, but a pretty big number here at 13. I actually see one book here offshore moving to 12.5 a little bit. So maybe the move's on Buffalo, but I'm going to have to take Akron here in this one. Also, Bonaventure and Mason, pretty good game here, right? In the A10 with the way Mason's playing. Of course, Bonaventure, one of the best cover teams. Maybe it's starting to come back, though, a little bit. They're not getting as many covers right now. They've given a few back here, but a good matchup. Mason's kind of caught the attention of a lot of people here of late. I'm going to take Mason on the road to kind of get Bonaventure here. That'll be, I guess, some of my small action. Oh, I got one more here from the from Conference USA. I like UAB here laying the big number against UTSA. It's up now here to 12.5. So the steam, you know what I mean, came rolling in on UAB. So I'm going to take them here to crush against UTSA. Another hot matchup here, Rod, for sure. Bradley and Belmont. This is going to be a big game. Two teams with very good records. I'm going to try Bradley on the road. I know they're a real popular pick with handicappers today. Maybe I'm piggybacking a little bit. Help me with my confidence on that game because certainly Belmont's been pretty good as well this season. These are two teams, like I said, strong records right now. But I'm going to go with Bradley on the road. I was on Bradley, or I want to make the play on them. And when I saw a lot of cappers kind of rolling with them, I hope that's okay with everybody because it made me feel good about Bradley here in this one. And I think I had one more good one. Oh, East Carolina on the road against Tulsa. I'm going to lay these points here with the Pirates. They are currently at -4.5. So give me East Carolina as my I think that's my last play in this group, brother. I'll take the Pirates on the road against Tulsa.
All right, and for me here in these time block, you know what, I'm looking at that UCF taking on Iowa State. You know what, I think it's just too many points there. I know Iowa State's been a solid team. It's just that matchup. I just think at 16 points, I got to take it with UCF. They've been scrappy at times this season in the games that I've seen. I know they've laid an egg in a couple of games this season, but most recently they sure hung with Houston and kept it close. It was a 1-point game. They definitely had the lead at the half in that one, and Houston came roaring back and just got the win there in that one. But losing by that many points, it hasn't happened a whole lot for. It's only one to Kansas that I see for UCF that has popped out at me of losing that kind of big number. Otherwise, this UCF team has been hanging with some big name teams: Houston, Arizona. Like I said, with exception to the one little blip in Kansas, I don't know, maybe they had a bad breakfast or something.
Look at that Kansas spot, Rod. They came off a loss at home against West Virginia at Fog Allen.
That's right.
So that's why Kansas rolled them. They rolled them. Yep.
So it's just one of those spots. So I got to take UCF plus the both little points you're going to give me there in that one. Should be a good game.
I got Rod and Ron both on that game. I'm taking it, Rod. You guys are both on UCF. Take note.
UCF. It's too many points.
You got to take it. It's just too many points.
Yeah.
Like I said, only once this year have they lost by that many points. And as Ron just alluded to, it was a Kansas smash spot. So speaking of another smash spot, I like Purdue here in this smash spot.
It was a Kansas smash spot. Yeah.
Ohio State. It's just on the road. I'm not a fan of Ohio State on the road. It's just one of those spots Purdue comes in and rolls. I got Purdue by at least 15 plus in that matchup. And then another one I'm looking at here is I'm going to go the other way. I don't trust Tennessee until you show me something that you can do something. I'm going to bet against you. I think this scrappy Minnesota State Bulldogs team going to give me 8.5. I think they can cover that number. As Ron said, maybe looking ahead. I don't know if these young guys be looking ahead to any games going forward. It's just one of those things. Sure, you maybe take a little bit of extra stuff in practice to try a few things different, but I got to go with the Bulldogs and coming into Tennessee there in that one. I think the confidence is shot for Tennessee, so it's going to take a little bit to get that momentum back going again. And a hungry Bulldogs team, I think they keep it close in that matchup. And another one I'm looking at here, I'm going to go with Boston College heading into Virginia. I just don't trust this Virginia team to be laying 8. We've seen them at home. Sure, they play some solid defensive basketball. On the road, they've been asked. So, asking them to cover 8, I just don't see it there. I'm going to take a flyer with Boston College plus the 8 in that matchup. And I got to go the other way. I like Texas Tech there versus Cincinnati. You look at both these teams playing some solid defensive basketball. Texas Tech on the road this season, holding teams to 41% shooting. You look at what Cincinnati does at home; it has been a little better. They hold teams to 36% shooting over the last 5, about 40%. Texas Tech over their last 5, 41%. But where I noticed the biggest difference is offensively. You look at this Texas Tech team offensively, and all season long, on average, road, conference, last 5 away, they're shooting 49.6% shooting, and it's averaging 83 points a game. Where you look at Cincinnati on the other side of things, they're only averaging 72 points a game, 76 points at home. I think both of these teams can play some solid defensive basketball. We're in for a good one. But I think Texas Tech and the Red Raiders down the stretch pull this out and win over Cincinnati in that matchup there tonight. All right, on to the next slate of games. Definitely some good games here tonight. One of the better slate of college basketball we've seen so far this season. Heading on, we'll go from everything from 8:30 onwards, right on through to the some late ones there in that one. Definitely, I don't know. I think this is almost the best slate because it's every game going on the board is solid basketball. Mm-hmm. So what do you think here in the late night action of hoops in this one, Ron?
Yeah, this is a great night of basketball. I tell you, I was looking at the schedule earlier. I was like, man, there's just so many great matchups going on here. Wisconsin, UCLA, love this matchup right here. And I like Wisconsin. I like Wisconsin to go out to UCLA. I know UCLA just rolled, and I think Wisconsin has what it takes to keep that one close and probably win it outright in that one. Yeah, DePaul, you got lucky. You won a game. Yeah, guess what? Creighton's going to crack you tonight. Give me Creighton minus the 6 in that one. And BYU, we had we called this on Saturday, Rod. We had Utah over BYU, and now it's BYU's turn to go into Colorado, and I think they win this one big. So a little bounce back for BYU in that one. And man, Washington, they just got blown out by everybody, but I think this is too many points for Oregon to lay. So give me the Huskies plus the 13.5 in that one.
And what do you think here in the late night slate of college hoops here, Ramon?
Yeah, Rod, for sure. I agree with you guys. I think I like how you split them up. I was worried first with all those 7 p.m. Eastern games. I'm like, where to start? But I don't think there's any question of these games tonight going to steal the show a little bit from the NBA. I'm going to start with ASU at West Virginia here. Maybe West Virginia could run up a little bit of number, I think, on ASU right now, but I'm going to end up on the under here. You see this number currently sitting at 133 here right now. Ooh, deep breath. A little bit of a move here. West Virginia, definitely these home games. It's home conference games for West Virginia are kind of an under over the last 2 years. I know they're playing ASU. I'm still kind of getting the numbers together now with the addition of the Pac-12 teams there, the ones that are in the Big 12 anyway, and see how that goes. But I'm going to kind of take a chance here because we've seen a couple of unders so far from these teams in conference play. So give me the under with ASU and West Virginia. Creighton and DePaul, Ron, you mentioned, right? Which direction? I'll let you handle the side because I got to agree. Man, DePaul, yeah, maybe they were improved a little bit early on, took advantage of it. They were improved enough to handle their non-conference schedule, but now they've been to the Big East play. It's been a total disaster as usual. So I think Creighton will run up that big number, like you said. It's just for me, how many points will DePaul score? If this is any clue, I'm going under, Ron. You talk about a blowout spot. I don't know. Maybe Creighton does. I don't know if it's going to be about tempo in this one. They'll just get down to business, and I'm going to go under here at 146 right now, I think it is. 145 at the sharpest book here in Las Vegas. So give me the under in that one. I'm also going to go under right after that. North Carolina and Wake Forest here. Look, this might be a game where you might think, I think this is what people are kind of thinking. This is what I've seen the talking heads, that Wake doesn't perform well when they step up in competition, especially in conference. Maybe this team's a little bit better this year in Carolina, right? We know that we're not seeing the same Carolina necessarily, or elite Carolina. So I've got another under here in this one with North Carolina and Wake. I'm going to skip down here to the matchup between Wisconsin and UCLA. Now I'm looking at the total. This one's kind of tricky, right? Wisconsin, we know what they can be all about, and UCLA also. We kind of think of Cronin working on his defense here, but I think the total, the move is to the over. I think that's the right move here in this one. Maybe on the surface, you think Wisconsin, UCLA, they're going to clunk it down. But I'm going to go over here at 142. I wanted to go over at 140, and I was just slow on the draw, so I'll use it here if you don't mind on the show. Give me the over with Wisconsin and UCLA, and I think I got one more for you here. I'm taking the Rebels, the home team here. Now that I've been in Vegas, I'm going to take the Rebels here over Wyoming tonight. They're laying 9 points here to the Cowboys, and I'm going to take them here to do a little number on Wyoming here tonight. Give me the Rebels as my last play here, my friend.
All right. For me, in this time block of games, definitely some great matchups here in this one. I'll leave you to that Wyoming and UNLV. No dog for a fight in that one for me. Maybe later, but I'm definitely not looking at that one. Looking at first one I'm looking at, though, I am going to take Washington there with that boatload of points. 13.5 points there. Sure, I know we've seen this Washington team. They haven't been playing the greatest hoops over their last few matchups. So it's the recency bias where, hey, look what they've done. But look who they played. They played a solid Purdue team, played a solid Michigan team, played a solid Michigan State team, and played a solid Illinois team. And they lost all four. Okay. Well, you look what they've lost by in those matchups. They lost to Purdue by 11. They got whooped by Michigan. Well, those are going to happen when you're outnumbered by outranked by those teams. Those four teams alone are having a solid season so far in college hoops. And going against this Ducks team that they didn't look so good. They got beat by Purdue. So they got whooped by Illinois, like thoroughly run right out of the gym in Illinois in that one. So for me in this one, that's just too many points. Give me Washington plus the 13.5 in that matchup. And then just as you mentioned that Wisconsin UCLA, I like the over there in that one. I think
good.
What you look at, you see UCLA, right? And we see that they play some solid defense at home, but they need to shoot some hoops, and they do shoot some hoops. They're scoring some points and shot at a nice 62%. It's got to be boosted their confidence here in this one. We know Whiskey can shoot. We know they've been scoring 80+ points on the regular there in that one. I think this total's way too low. Started 139.5, and it just keeps moving up. Books can't put it high enough. I think that
different Wisconsin this year, Rod.
Yeah, exactly. Just
I agree.
solid overs there in that matchup. And I got to agree, give me Creighton. I'm not trusting DePaul. Sure, recency that DePaul, they've had a couple good runs down the road, but you know what it is head-to-head, dating back to 2015, Creighton and DePaul, when these two teams meet, straight
20
up,
0?
20-1.
Oh.
20-1. Creighton is 20-1 against DePaul head-to-head, dating back to 2015, straight up in that one. And if you look at what Creighton's been doing over their last 5-6 games, they've been solid. 5-0-1 ATS. That one push. Other than that, they've been covering numbers and starting to hoop. I think this is a 10-point win for the Creighton Blue Jays there in that one. DePaul's ass. There's no demons seeking any demons of anything. I think they're stuck in their own heads and have their own demons going on there. And that one, North Carolina taking on Wake Forest. You know what? This is going to be a good game here. Is North Carolina that good? I don't know about that one. We're all waiting to see Wake Forest step up. And you know what? I think this is the spot that they do step up here tonight. I'm going to take Wake Forest on the money line here in this one over North Carolina. Point and a half, no point. I'm just going to lay the money line there. In that one, you look at Wake Forest, what they have been doing. In conference games defensively, 39.8. In home games, 38.1. You look at what North Carolina's been doing defensively. In conference games, 38% defensively, holding teams down. Last 5 games, 38.1. So we know both these teams can play some solid defensive basketball. Definitely no doubt about that here in this one. But when you look again, another one of those games that you look offensively, whose offense do you trust more right now? I trust Wake's offense a little bit more. You look at North Carolina on the road, hitting 46.7%. Playing to about 79 points a game, but over their last 5, 46% shooting. You look at what Wake's done in conference. They've stepped up. 49.1% field goal shooting in conference. 6-1 straight up in conference play. 5-2 against that number. Their last 5 games, 5-0 straight up. 5-0 against the number is Wake Forest in the last 5 games, hitting 49.7% of their shots and nearly hitting 80 points a game. I'm going to go with Wake Forest to get the job done there in that one and beat North Carolina in that one. Another one I'm looking at here, I love this time block of games. Iowa's down to only an 8-point in that one. I know their defense isn't very good in Minnesota, and they're on the road. I don't trust the Gophers on the road in that one. I got Iowa by 10+. I only have to lay 8. I'll lay the 8. I think they run the Gophers right out of their gym in that one. We know Iowa doesn't play defense, so they're going to track beat it up. And I don't think the Gophers are going to be able to hang and keep up in that matchup. Another one I'm looking at here is you're looking at Louisville taking on SMU. There's a good game going on in that matchup. I'm going to take SMU at home. What have we seen all season long? SMU win games. So give me SMU and what should be a great basketball game.
Yeah, high-scoring game.
Kind of lean to an over, too. Yeah, exactly. As I was just going to mention, 158.5. It's been moving up all day. Books can't make it high enough. I like the over there, too. In that matchup. But what I like even better is SMU over in the first half in that matchup. What we see in SMU all season long at home. They're actually 9-1 straight up full game at home this season to that over. And then they're also 7-3 at home in the first half to that over. And when you look at what the numbers have been over their last 5 games or so, or even the numbers at home, SMU is averaging 43 points a game. While Louisville on the road averaging about 37 to 38 points a game, and the total in the first half is a 75 and a half in books. I think we easily get into the 80s in that matchup. Take the over first half, Louisville and SMU. And then give me the dog. Give me the dog going into Texas. The Tigers going to grab that Longhorn by the horn and the Bulls and ride that bull right on down to the ground. And eat them up. I like Missouri there in that spot. Give me Mizzou. I don't trust Texas to lay any of those points there in that one. Just don't think they're that good a team. I like Missouri and the Tigers in that one to get the job done. That wraps up the college slate of games there in that one. Now let's head on to the ice. We got a few games going there in the slate of action tonight. Let's see. We'll break it up to I think we'll just do the 7 p.m. Eastern ones, and then we'll do the late ones. Actually, we'll throw in because we got 2 at 8. Let's split them down. We'll do because we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we'll do the early one. So we'll do all the 7 p.m. Eastern games and the 8 p.m. Eastern games. So everything before 9 p.m. Eastern, and then we'll save the last 3 of the night, the ones at 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern, for the second half of these games. What do you think they're in those slate of NHL action, Ron?
Yeah, so we're stopping at Carolina and Dallas, right?
Yeah, we could do that. Stop at Carolina and Dallas.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
give me the Stars. We talked about Carolina's record on the road. I know they won last night, but I'm going to take the Stars in that one. Give me the Flyers. The Flyers are 7-1 as a home favorite this year. I know Detroit's been probably one of the hottest teams in the NHL, but I'm going to take the Philadelphia Flyers in that one. Tampa Bay last night just didn't have it, but going into Montreal, where they pretty much owned that Montreal team. So I'm going to take Tampa Bay on the road as a favorite in that one.
And what about for you, Ramon, in those slate of games?
Well, I'm going to take my Habs actually over the Lightning here and take the dog. They've been playing so much better of late. Yeah, they gave one back here. I know the public and I know Ron. I think the Lightning are attracting most of the attention here in this one. Maybe I'll try them at +1 just to make sure, because they're certainly not a team that's had very much success against the Lightning. But I'm gonna go against the Ron a little bit here and take my Canadians tonight. There's no doubt the Canadians are dramatically improved right now. A little disturbing what we saw in that game last out. They led early against Toronto and end up, getting blown out actually. So maybe they were starting to feel their oats a little bit with that early lead. I think in that game they were in it and then got blowed out. But I don't know. I think this one, it could kind of be more of a crapshoot tonight. I think we could see some goals in that game. So I'm going to try the Habs here. Maybe this one gets to a shootout or something and they can get it. So maybe the +1 if you're not totally confident and you got us button heads. So give me the Habs here and maybe add a little on. I'm going to look at the game here between Ottawa and the Rangers tonight, Rod. I like Ottawa here in this one. Obviously, they're playing so much better this season. We've seen the Rangers. Yeah, they're coming back to play a little bit better once again. Maybe Igor is healthy now, but look, the Rangers are still a losing proposition at home this year. They're costing you more than a quarter of a unit every time out, and Senators are almost a break-even proposition on the road. So the steam looked like came in here. I mean, look, I'm only getting a plus $1.10 here, maybe not even that. So feels like there is some sharp action on the Sens, and I'll take Ottawa here on the road. Detroit and Philly in this one, Rod. I'm going to look to the total here, and I'm going to go under with the Red Wings and the Flyers right now. I want to give the Red Wings a big chance. I kind of want to recommend them, but they just never beat the Flyers on the road. And the Red Wings are still continuing to show improvement. Maybe this will be the one, but I'll just stick to the total here. They're going to need to hold the Flyers down if they're going to have a chance to break that streak. I think they're, if I could pull one out of Rod's database, I think they're 20-2 against Detroit last 22 meetings in Philadelphia. So I'll take the under though in that one. With the Hurricanes and the Stars, hey, how about if we go a little consensus with Ron and I? I'll take the Stars in this one. Look, this one has the makings of I don't want to say maybe potential finals matchup, but certainly two teams playing pretty well that don't have the maybe the postseason success that they've had. If they're going to do something, this might be the year. So I think it'll be a hot game tonight with the Stars and the Hurricanes. I'll travel with Ron here and take Dallas and Sharks and Preds here. Man, that Predators line got steamed big time. I'm sure they're in line to kind of blow them out here, but I'll just take the over in this one, Rod, with the Sharks and the Predators. If the Sharks are going to have any chance to cover, I don't know what I was saying on this morning. I said maybe I could grab 2.5 and lay a bunch of juice, but I'll just take the over here with the Sharks and the Predators tonight. It's a flat 6.
I'm looking at these matchup for me here tonight. I'm looking at Detroit and Philadelphia. I think it just, as you mentioned, we got to have a defensive game there in that one going. Should be obviously ongoing for the Red Wings, and that one should be Urson going for the Flyers. So expect the 1st of 3 type game. wins that matchup. So give me the under Detroit and Philadelphia. And you know what? I'm looking at the under Carolina and Dallas, 5.5 goals. I think that's just too many there. And that one, it's going to feel like a playoff game. Carolina in the second half of this back-to-back spot going to be tough games. Last time we've seen these two teams in Dallas, it was 6 goals being scored, but I just don't see it here in this one. Give me the under in that matchup. I think the Carolina saved their better goalie for this spot in this one versus Dallas. Ottinger going there too, so give me the under 5.5 there.
Decent sixes juiced, not too bad, Rod. Too. I know 5.5 is going to give a great return, but if anybody has a question, I saw some sixes out there at minus $1.30 or so.
Yeah, I'm good without laying $1.30 on total. I can't do it. I'll take the 5.5 in that one. I know some people like the sixes, but I'm good. I'll take the 5.5 in that matchup. All right, on to the late slate of games. We got Washington taking on Edmonton, Florida taking on the Ducks, Buffalo taking on the Canucks. What do you think there in those three, Ron?
I am so excited for this late game, man, especially the Washington and Edmonton. You know, I tried to cap it. Both those teams have got great trends. Both have got great records. You got one of the best teams on the road with the Washington Capitals. We got Logan Thompson in net, right? So, I mean, this is going to be a doozy. So make sure you watch that one. I'm not going to even say anything about it. But, yeah, make sure you watch that one. I am going to take the 30-16 against the spread Anaheim Ducks with Dostal in net. I'm going to take that plus 1.5. Easy. Give me Anaheim against Florida plus 1.5.
What do you think there in those three slated games there, Ramon?
Yeah, Ron, you almost, saying that Sharks and Predators could be a finals matchup. Obviously, this is the one now. I think everyone, and you correct me if I'm wrong, you hockey experts, Rod, but I think everyone's maybe starting to believe in the Caps a little bit. Not that they haven't been doing it kind of all season, but we've kind of had to wrap our heads around, is it real or is it just a hot start? But this far into the season, it's kind of hard to ignore when you're already 20 games over 500. So I'm going to go over, though. I know that, look, it is a low total here, and I know that we have some, great goaltending. The Oilers are found their stride, obviously, after another Rod, they had a clunky start last year too, and they still got it going just fine. And here it feels like they've even got it going a little bit earlier here. But I'm going to end up on the over just because I think the spectacular players, spectacular offense from these guys. Usually when they're matched up against poor teams, maybe there'll be that intensity there, but maybe it's also going to be a good game that could end up finding its way to the 6 range. So give me the over in that one. I know there's certainly some numbers that could steer someone to the under in the game, but I hope it's an exciting, fun game. I'm going to go over here as a free play, if you know what I mean. I'm going to take the Sabres tonight here. Maybe I'll add the puck line. Got to lay a little juice against the Canucks tonight, but the Canucks, while they are certainly the better team than the Sabres, and these guys don't meet that often, but still the Sabres just seem to continue to get puck lines no matter what the opponent here. So I'm going to try the Sabres here on the puck line tonight against the Canucks. If they throw in a clunker, which they sometimes do, they'll probably get blown out. But if they're in this at all, it's going down to the wire, and they know how to buckle up there and try to give themselves a chance tonight. So all they're going to need here probably is 2 goals if they want to be able to get this money. Now, I think it will probably, if they're going to maybe have a chance to win, it could end up 3-3, and they'll have to go to a overtime or a shootout. But I'm going to take the over. I'm going to take the Sabres in that one, Rod, plus the 1.5. And with the Panthers and the Ducks tonight, I want to try to give the Ducks a chance in some of these, and I appreciate what Rod was saying. I'm not going against them here necessarily. I'll just take the under in this one at 5.5. That's all you're going to find out there, just to the over here with the Panthers coming in to take on the Ducks. I'll take the under in this one. Definitely, we know with the Ducks, ton of unders so far this season. So if they can't get more than 2, if they can get 2 off the Panthers, maybe they'll be in it and get Rod that. But I'm going to take the under here in this one, Rod.
And I agree on that one. The under there and that one with Dostal going in net for the Ducks when he's been in. It's been lower scoring games between Florida and Anaheim in that matchup. So yeah, I agree giving the under 5.5 there. I definitely don't agree with taking Buffalo here in the spot, having to travel from the East Coast to the West Coast. And especially this Canucks team that after having to play the Oilers, they had to ramp up their intensity. This Canucks team was looking like ass before
Here
that.
comes
They
the
started playing the
Here's the
Oilers
dance.
for a little bit, and then they ramp up their play. And guess what? They got themselves a win against that Oilers team and McDavid and company. Yeah, there's only one way to go here in this one, and it's a beatdown. There's a reason why this line has moved up to where it is. Canucks dance all night long.
There it
all
is.
night
There it
long.
is.
Canucks dance.
Canucks dance.
Canucks dance. Canucks
All
dance.
night
Canucks dance.
long.
All night long.
All night.
Don't
All night.
sleep on the Canucks at all. I know
Rod's
you
got
got somebody out there who thinks that they should
music.
fade the Canucks every game going, but watch
I'm going
out.
to play
They're
JT
gonna start
Miller
to turn
tonight.
things
Are
around.
you going to play him?
Of course they are. Of course they are. They've had their own little
right.
meeting and got back in the right page.
Give me Miller to score a
Then
goal.
they got
man.
back to give me JT Miller to get himself a goal. Canucks are back on the right page. They needed that game against the Oilers to kickstart the season. There's too much talent on that team to be losing hockey games. And now we're going to get going. Look at this Washington Capitals game taking on the Oilers. No chance we're seeing an over in this game tonight. No chance. We're looking at our buddy Logan Thompson in goal. And what's he done all season long? He's 21-2 on the season long. He's one guy that hasn't been sleeping on the Washington Capitals team all season long. What did I say at the start of the season? I said, when you see Logan Thompson in goal, you bet the Washington Capitals. No matter what, Logan Thompson had a bee in his hat and a bonnet and said, hey, Vegas, you guys wanted to let me go? Well, guess what? Here's the big fuck you. That's what they did to him. Logan Thompson was the big fuck you, guys. I'm going to show you how to play some hockey. He's 21-2 on the season and absolutely playing lights out hockey, in line to win a Vezina, but somebody named Hellebuck is going to outduel him and probably beat him to that just because of what he's been doing. But Hellebuck slubs down the stretch. Logan Thompson is beating down your door. 21-2, 2.09 goals against average, 925 save percentage. Guess what he's done in 2025? He's 6-0-1 with a 944 save percentage and a 1.4 goals against average. I know in the video I said the Oilers without McDavid usually step up in this spot, but this Washington team has stepped up all season long. 10-3 is a road dog this season. Give me the Washington Capitals in that one. There tonight. I know I got to go against the Oilers. It's just what it is. No McDavid, no company. Logan Thompson in goal. I'm going to bet him all season long. Been watching.
Yeah, maybe different, right, Rod, with a McDavid injury compared to a suspension.
Even
changing the motivation, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
They're going to step up.
Yep.
So the Oilers team, what do they do when they step up without McDavid? They play defensive hockey. Give it the under 6 in that one as well. That wraps up the hockey segment. We got me all wrapped up tonight. I'm excited for tonight's slate of action. Definitely ready to go here in this one. So now brings us to the section where we got the parlay peripheral section, game in the future, maybe even a prop play you like to give these fine folks. What do you got going, Ron, there for prop, parlay? Let these fine folks know what you got, and then let you know what you got, your best bets that you got your money on over at Tony's Picks tonight.
Absolutely.
Let them know what you got.
Yeah, let's look at the NBA. I'm going to go with the Denver Nuggets laying the 12. We'll do that one first. We'll go to the NHL. I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Flyers on the money line. And in college basketball, I'm going to go with Creighton -6. And if you want my best plays, they're over at Tony's Picks. You can get my slap shot, which has been really hot. You can get that and the NBA three-point play all for a good price over there. And like I said, pair everybody up. All these guys you're seeing right here are on the leaderboard consistently. And like I said yesterday, when me and Rod match up on the NHL, you got to get in there. So don't forget that. Hey, shout out to the chat. Nicholas Handy, Teresa, Ron, Job 6. Oh, man, Fernando Mendoza with some UCL. I'm going to take Arsenal and PSG tomorrow, by the way. And
okay,
who else we got
write
in
that
there?
down.
Teresa O'Brien, she's in there. Ziggy Balls, Nathan Cerna, Mr. Whiskers, all the regulars here. Thank you so much. Jermaine, thank you so much for showing up tonight and supporting the new show. We love you. Can't do it without you. So rock on. Let's go.
And then what do you got going to tonight, Ramon?
Yeah, great call there, Ron, to shout out all of our friends. I forgot they were all over here, so I'm really excited about that. And let Tony know you like us here at the 5 o'clock hour, and keep me on the air with these guys. I'm trying to keep up with these hockey experts here. 8-2 start so far on Tony's picks since I've returned. With my hockey picks, they're mostly totals, Rod. Anyway, let me roll with the college basketball parlay if I can. We'll get us out of here. I'm going to go to the SEC. Ron talked about the Alabama game. I'm going to take the under in that one. I'm sorry, the over in that one, of course. A big number here at 168, but we've seen what Alabama can do here, and I've got the over with Vanderbilt and Alabama. Man, it's approaching a 170, and I think it's one of those when you see the big total, you go over the big total there. I'll take the over. Vanderbilt's got to make their contribution, and they are liable to get blowed out, as Ron said, but I'll take the over. I've got the under in Missouri State and Northern Iowa. I've seen this one drop here, a couple of points falling.
Cool. Give us on to the next play. It's a parlay. We're not rehashing the whole pick again here. It's a parlay section. You just want to give it the pick of the parlay and move on. We've already rehashed the game. I don't need to hear you rehash the whole in whole breakdown on the play again for the next 10 minutes. Like, come on, man.
Sure, right away. No doubt.
Thanks.
I like the under here.
I got places to go, people to see. I'm sorry, but on with it. We already heard you talk about that game for 10 minutes. So please just get to the parlay. We already heard it. Get to the pick.
I did. I just gave out my parlay.
Perfect. Thanks. I'm going to give out my parlay. All right. On to I'm going to give out Texas Tech. Here's my parlay. We're going to throw in Creighton. We're going to take UCLA and Wisconsin over the total there in that matchup. And for me, I've got a 3-pack of college basketball over at Tony'sPicks.com. I got my NHL sniper play. I got to play in the NBA as well. Best way to go is long-term. As you can see, I've been kicking everybody's butt in 2025, including the bookie, kicking them in the teeth and putting money into my pocket. So you want to join me? Come on in. And the water's great. We've been kicking the bookie's butt and cashing in. So that's where you want to be. Head on over, hit the link in the description. We'll get you right on over to Tony's Picks. And you can join me in kicking the bookies in the teeth. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate each and every one of you. We're here every Monday to Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern, giving out plays. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, including everybody that's tuning in here in the chat. Have yourself a good one. Until we catch you on the next one tomorrow. Wave goodbye, everybody. Have a good one. See you guys tomorrow.
Good luck.